Hi, I'm Carol Joy, and this is my co-host, Katie, and this is Proposition 20. You'll see this one on your ballot as restricts parole for nonviolent offenders, authorizes felony sentences for certain offenses currently treated only as misdemeanors. This is an initiative statute. So, Katie, what is the question behind Proposition 20?
Hi, Carol Joy. Proposition 20 poses the question, should California law be amended to make changes to the process by which people are charged with certain crimes and granted parole? And should the state require DNA collection for certain misdemeanors?
So, what is the current situation? How does the law stand today?
In 2011, the US Supreme Court ruled that overcrowding in California's prisons resulted in cruel and unusual punishment, a violation of the Eighth Amendment, and California was ordered to reduce the state's prison population. Various laws enacted from 2011 to 2016 were intended to reduce the state's prison inmate population and informed current law.
So what are the results then of these laws that you're talking about?
Well, today, non-serious offenders are imprisoned in local jails with county supervision as opposed to state prisons with state supervision. Also, several non-serious, non-violent crimes are labeled as misdemeanors as opposed to felonies or wobblers, which are chargeable as misdemeanors or felonies. And felons have increased chances for parole for non-violent crimes and are given opportunities to earn sentence-reducing credits for good behavior.
And have these changes resulted in reducing prison population?
Well, these measures have brought the overall state prison population below 137.5% of capacity as ordered by the US Supreme Court. However, many individual prisons are still operating above that percentage.
And then what does Prop 20 propose?
Proposition 20 would amend elements of current law. The debate regarding this proposition is whether new reforms are needed to address the unintended consequences of prior reforms to increase public safety, or whether the measure is undoing prior criminal justice reforms.
Well, are there specific changes in Prop 20?
Yes, Prop 20 would specifically change state law to increase criminal penalties for some theft-related crimes. It would also allow certain misdemeanors to be charged as either misdemeanors or felonies. Also, it would change how people released from state prison are supervised in the community and request parole or probation be revoked if someone violates the post-release supervision terms for a third time. And it would change various parts of the process for considering the release of inmates from prison upgrading some nonviolent crimes as violent. Finally, Prop 20 would require state and local law enforcement to collect DNA from adults convicted of certain crimes, including some crimes that are currently charged as misdemeanors.
And then what would the fiscal effect be of Prop 20?
According to the Legislative Analyst's Office, the fiscal effect would be increased state and local correctional costs, likely in the tens of millions of dollars annually, primarily related to increases in county jail populations and levels of community supervision. Also, increased state and local court-related costs that could be more than several $millions annually. Finally, there may be increased state and local law enforcement costs, not likely to be more than a few $1,000,000 annually, related to collecting and processing DNA samples.
So what do the supporters say about Prop 20?
Well, supporters say Prop 20 closes a loophole in the law that allows convicted child molesters, sexual predators, and others convicted of violent crimes to be released from prison early. They also say Prop 20 expands DNA collection to help solve rapes, murders, and other serious crimes, and strengthens against habitual thieves who steal repeatedly.
And then what do the opponents say?
Opponents say Prop 20 is a prison spending scam. California already has severe and lengthy sentences. They also say Prison special interest groups want you to spend tens of millions of dollars on prisons, which would force cuts to rehabilitation, school, mental health, and homelessness.
So in summary, a yes vote on Proposition 20 supports this initiative to add crimes to the list of violent felonies for which early parole is restricted, to recategorize certain types of theft and fraud crimes as wobblers, and to require DNA collection for certain misdemeanors. A no vote on Prop 20 opposes this initiative to change the current law. And that's it. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Carol Joy.